Hey everybody, Texas Trucker here, Lance's Performance Shop, LoneStarMopars.com, picking up right where we left off. We brought in two items here, the shallow set of 819 3/8 drive Koken 12 point, and then right back here the semi-deep. I went ahead, since we had an 8-piece rail and we had 4 extra sockets to fill in what was missing, I thought, we've got that there, let's just go ahead and throw them down. So that is subject to change. I'm still trying to kind of figure everything out, but I do, since this was a prototype from MTS, I would like to utilize it. I'm just trying to think of the best way, and currently that's what we did, so we're going to roll with it for a bit. Now, that said, we have got sort of like the back half of this Labor Day order here, and I'm trying to decide which route we want to go, and I think we'll just throw down with this. This is, again, a surprising price point for what we've got. Once again, I will have links down below, strictly there for your convenience. I make nothing off of that. I get no kickback, no free products, nothing. It's just basically saving you time, if this is something you want to click on and pick up for yourself. So what we've got is RS. You already know, railed set, right? And you remembered from last time, 4400. You're thinking like, 4, that sounds different. That would be correct. And then A, you're thinking like, wait, don't they use that for fractional or inch or imperial or American or something? That would also be correct. And /10, you know from last time, 10-piece set. So what is it, you ask? Well, you're probably thinking, it's 12 point because you got it from Koken. Nope, this is 6 point. This is half-inch drive, 6 point sockets, basically no skips, 3/8 to my beloved 15/16. So many times people don't ever go to 15/16. They don't sell 15/16. I've seen a couple of things recently where like wrenches, just you have like a standard set that doesn't go there, but then the jumbo set doesn't go there either, which makes no sense because 5/8 fasteners are pretty common. But yeah, 3/8 to 15/16, pretty solid little setup. The MTS orange prototype, which is 3/8 pegs, it would be SAE equivalent, would be 3/8 to 1 inch. So this would basically fill one of those out minus the big end with the 1 inch socket. So that said, this is half-inch drive, and the crazy thing, I currently do not own any half-inch Koken drive tools. And you're thinking like, what? That's insane. Well, think back, like 3/8, again, that's my bread and butter. That's what I tend to use the most. That's what we buy to investigate new brands and tools, right? And then you think like, well, you brought in so much from Koken, surely there's something. Honestly, there's not. The stuff you might be thinking of, like the nut grip sockets, the small sets of sockets, the wobble fix extensions, the spinner handles, all that stuff would be 1/4 and 3/8. Primarily, again, 3/8, because it's my bread and butter. But right here, speaking of 3/8, that's where we start. 7/16, half, 9/16, 5/8, 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, 7/8, and 15/16. Every single one of them 6 point. So again, pretty nice little set for your half-inch drive. Again, you probably might want to go a couple sizes bigger. I know I did, and that's where we spent $14.28 on 1 1/8. That's right. This is going to let me do what? 3/4 fasteners. That's correct. Granted, standard head, not thick or heavy or anything like that, but this is what we have, and this is a great time to zoom in on this and kind of showcase. Don't know that we did this on the last set, but we've done it many times before. So again, think of this sort of as like a Hazet equivalent, if you want to compare it to German brands. In part, I say that just aesthetically. You sort of got like the matte and the polished all in one. So the way Koken does this, you've got sort of like a polished finish here on the business end, and then on your drive end, you've got the size designation, again 1 1/8. You've got Koken, and then right here, you've sort of got like your series and everything. So again, 4400A, then you can see below there, made in Japan. Again, just this is a nice little aesthetic. Again, so sort of polished and satin. And then right there, again, pretty thin wall for a 3/4 drive. Or 3/4 fastener is what I'm implying here. You can see the way it's going to plug in. I cannot test fit this to a Koken ratchet because, again, we don't have one. Don't even have a breaker bar. Now that said, I thought it was going to come in 2022. That's what they had said initially, if I'm not mistaken. But it looks like 2023 we should get the 1/4 and the 1/2 and the New Zeal, the 72 tooth stuff. So that's sort of one of the reasons I didn't like jump in and buy something if it wasn't going to be like clearanced and blown out, because it was going to be superseded or, you know, have like a brand new, you know, fashionable friend in town. Well, I'm going to wait. So that's exactly what we're doing. I'm a very big fan of the 72 tooth stuff that we brought in, and that's sort of why we are waiting. So again, basically me adding this on, did we skip an inch? Yes. Did we skip not go up all the way to 1.25 inches? Not yet. Did we get 1 1/16 inch? No. But again, this is kind of 5/8, 3/4, especially at work. That's sort of what I need. Now, a lot of times somebody say like 1 inch is the size of the K&N filters. And that's correct, but we do have other 1 inch sockets we can use, so we shall be home free. Will we add it eventually over time? Possibly. Kind of depends how we select to store these. So that said, very, very comprehensive. I think that 1 1/8 kind of highlighted everything very well for us. Something I do want to highlight here, and you can kind of hopefully pick up on it across the board, but 3/8 all the way up here through 7/8, they have something in common. They look to, or I'm sorry, through 13/16 have something in common. They look to be, now these aren't exactly pushed together, so let's do that actually. Maybe there's a step that I'm missing, and we want to make sure. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to say 3/8 through 11/16 are going to be all the exact same height. When we get to 3/4, there's a slight, and I do mean slight. It could even just be not seated well. Maybe it wasn't seated well. Is that one seated well? I think they must have shifted when I shifted them, type of a thing, because now they look like they did, just closer together. But I'm going to go ahead and say 3/8 through 13/16 are all the exact same height. Right here, when you jump to 7/8, you stair step just a little. We get to 15/16, we stair step again, and then I don't have a clip for it, but it looks like 1 1/8 is going to maintain the same height as the 15/16. So it's kind of odd that the 7/8 is there. There's no, I mean, unless we do like 64ths, which, you know, are 30 seconds that you're not going to do at this size point. I mean, 15/16 is after 7/8. That would be 14/16, all right? So unless you've got like some super oddball size, it's kind of the lone wolf there. 13/16 and under, all the same. 7/8, special. 15/16, at least up through 1 1/8, maybe even 1 1/4, I'm going to project would be the same height. So very interesting there. That's why we kind of like to take a little extra time sometimes, slow down, compare and contrast, and learn a little bit. So once again, to recap the price point, $76. That is not that bad for 1/2 inch drive, 10-piece set, 2 5s, right? What does that do to the price? Well, we move the decimal over 1. $7.60 a socket. That's kind of crazy for 1/2 inch drive, right? And that is before the sale price. This is like MSRP, right? So granted, that was Labor Day. The price could go up since then, but that's a super good deal. And then this guy right here, obviously we're getting a little bigger, a little beefier. It's basically double the average price there, coming in at, again, $14.28. But we are not done there. Oh, no, no, no. I had to cash in on, you guessed it, some 12-point sockets. And this is something I didn't really have to do, but it's kind of like, you know, it's just kind of seems like we should. And so I did. And what this one is, it is going to be, if I can find it over here on our packing ticket, part number RS. You're thinking railed set? You would be correct. 3305A/9. You're thinking, oh, you know, that's going to be Imperial again, and that's a 9-piece railed set. The last time we had 33s together, it was 3/8 drive. Well, that would also be correct. And if you remember anything else, then you would know exactly what it is, which is 12-point socket set. That's right. So 1/4 to 3/4, no skips, 9 pieces. Price point on this one, $104. A little bit more, but what do we have here size-wise? We've got deep sockets. That's why these stayed out. Shallow, semi-deep, deep. I know they're metric. I know these are SAE, but height-wise we can compare. So the great thing here is I've got experience with these. Not necessarily with the 12-point, but with the 6-point deep. And I've been happy with them. And if you recall back, one of my wild strategies to save money while sampling things, what we did, for better or for worse, was I got the 6 points, 3/8, 6 point, quarter to 3/4, and I think we did shallow and deep, and then on the 12 points, I did shallow and semi-deep. That's why we have the deep in hand right here. So case in point, and this is kind of sad to me because I love what I've done here. This is our 12. You got to remember these have been used quite a bit. That's why they kind of look a little long in the tooth, some of them. But this is 12 point, semi-deep, 3/8 drive, quarter to 3/4 SAE. That's a magnetic rail from Ernst, okay? That's an 8-inch rail, and it fits 9 sockets beautifully. It's almost like it was designed for it. Again, right there's the magnets. This is our shallow stuff. And again, I can spin that around and throw it down and go to town. Ernst does not have an 8-inch socket boss. Ernst does not have a green or orange 8-inch rail. It's kind of a sad deal in my opinion, right? Because I would love to have these suckers right here. Well, I think that's work related, but it's gonna have to wait because it's Sunday night. Where are we going with that? I'd love to see this in magnetic 8-inch orange and green. Obviously orange for my SE, green for the metric, but it is what it is. We're gonna have to either do something custom, be content with them being on blue, which actually looks great. Currently these are in the roll card, our 34-inch Master Tech from Harbor Freight, so it's orange, and that's where I kind of like to go. Orange for SAE, green for metric. It's not conventional, but it looks super good, and personally I love it. That's all that really matters, since I'm the one over here spinning the sockets and sorting everything. But man, if we could just somehow convince them that it's a great idea to make 8-inch and different colors, 13-inch as well. They don't have the new colors in 13. But if we could get that, and we could get it with magnets for magnetic rails, and we could get the socket boss tray, I'd be a happy man. But I might have workarounds for that. We'll have to wait and see. That's things I want to do that I just need more free time to do. But we'll cover that when we get to it. But anyway, what I'm going to do, you guessed it, for your viewing pleasure, we're going to rip off the biggest socket, the 3/4, so we can take a look at it. Again, it's exact same format as our 1/2-inch drive, 1 1/8 down there. We have got size marking, Koken. We've got made in Japan. You've got the series of the socket, and then you've got, again, sort of a polished and satin finish there. Again, it works quite well. I mean, this is slick in the hand. This is it's not quite like a door or something, and there's no knurling or anything, but it provides a little bit of grip. That's the main deal. If I come over here to our Ernst magnetic rails and I spin this sucker, what's going to happen? We're going to pop it off, and I've got the semi-deep. Okay, so there's your deep versus your semi-deep. And now if I come in here and we spin this one, pop it off, we got shallow, semi-deep, and deep. We did it. We went full on overkill. This is totally not necessarily a great way to spend your time or money, but it was there, it was tempting, and I will, by golly, use every one of them. Part of me wishes these things would have been around, or I would have known of them when I was a little bit younger, and I maybe could have gone that route. But like I said, I mean, you're talking to a guy. I've used my Craftsman sockets up until basically you saw me start making tool hauls, right? That was my bread and butter. I still, honestly, use them quite a bit. Those are USA Craftsman. I picked them up when I was I don't know, they were given to me in the rally box. That would have been late 90s, early 2000s probably. But that's why it's not been critical. Everything we do is sort of a luxury upgrade, give the Craftsman a little bit of a retirement party, upgrade at the same time type of thing. But semi-deep sockets, like, that wasn't a thing to me when I was a kid. Okay, like, it was just like, what? Shallow and deep. What are you talking about? You don't have super shallow. Well, would you need extra deep or semi-deep for? You're a lunatic. Just have your shallow and your deep. And sad thing is, like, shallow and deep is still going to get you done pretty much every single time. Are there instances where the semi-deep could come in handy and, like, make you not have to use weird extensions or go to another box and grab another stubby extension to pile it together so you can clear the obstruction and not run the ratchet into the back end of a fender? Yeah, I'm sure you could find some choice situations where it's like, that justifies this purchase right here. I told you. That's why we did it. But where I'm going with this is, had like this have been present to me and known when I was like 14 to 20-ish, I might have gone in and, like, on 12 point, I might have gone shallow and deep. On 6 point, I might have gone, or I probably would have done semi-deep and super shallow on 12. And then on 6 point, I would have done, like, shallow and deep, standard conventional stuff, right? But it's one of those deals. Like, it wasn't a 14-year-old me. I didn't know of Koken. Like, I was busy getting disconnected from the internet, like with dial-up, it's like mom starts the dishwasher and there goes the internet. So it was a different world, you weren't like, ooh, I wonder what sockets are available in Germany and Japan. It wasn't really crossing my mind, right? You had the Craftsman stuff. What more did I need? And, if you want to get technical, like, I could still get by. Granted, we need, like, some specialty stuff here and there, but, like, I could still do everything that I do with those Craftsman sockets. And, it's just a deal. This is something that I enjoy. It makes me happy. And I like comparing and contrasting everything. And so that's what we do. It's right there. I mean, a Sunday night at like almost 10 o'clock and we still get interrupted with text. It's amazing. My apologies. Not very professional of me, but it is what it is. And that's what this was 2 Koken tool hauls. We divided it, if you hadn't figured it out, metric and SAE. Why? Well, that way you get, like, 20 to 30 minute videos instead of 50 to an hour minute videos, right? So that's kind of the way it made sense to me to do it, and that way we can sort of elaborate on things, take it from there, and really where these go next is quite the conundrum, because again, for the metric stuff, I want to go shallow, semi-deep, and deep, but our prototype MTS is 2 rail. We've got the really cool Zeal that we could pair with our specialty sockets, but then we're wasting this fancy aluminum magnetic rail. That's what kills me, is it's magnetic too, and that, like, kind of seals it that I want to keep them there. Plus, it looks really good. Similarly, I've loved this setup. I've bought 4 of these. I have, obviously, semi-deep and shallow 12 point, and then our, I want to say, shallow and deep 6 point on same 8-inch blue magnetic rails. Granted, it's not ideal color scheme there, but I mean, I could totally move these to a different box, which would probably be blue, and they would be fine aesthetically. All superficial problems to have, but I mean, it's nice to, be single and, not have child support or anything crazy, and just, if I want to spend an extra $40 on color coordinated sockets, by gosh, I can do it. So, it's just kind of like figuring it all out. The bee's knees for me would be if Ernst had orange 8-inch magnetic rails with an 8-inch socket boss. And then I have, because I've gotten to where I love this. This is the problem. This is like a bread and butter socket. I'll usually rip the semi-deep 12s. And it's just a situation where I've gotten to where I really like having it magnetic. I really like having the small rail versus like some ginormous one. And that would be like my ideal setup, but it's not available. Like, it's clearly something they can do, it's just they don't do it. Same thing, like if we had a 3-row prototype, I would just take my either the stubby or a shallow, semi-deep, and deep, and we'd throw it together and wait until sales come and it's pieced together. But yeah, that's kind of where we stand. So I don't know. Do you buy a blue box, and sort it out? Do you move these to a different box and move something else over here? I don't know. I was trying, the top of the Master Tech is impact based, but these have been there because why? I use 3/8 all the time. So the chromies that are top and present there. But I guess I'm going to have to get back to this because it must be important. But we've also got a red light flashing, which is not good for recording. So that's what we brought in. I believe these are our first 1/2-inch sockets from Koken. That's kind of cool. Like I said, we will eventually, as soon as the 72 tooth stuff is available, plan to snag that ASAP, bring it in. And we'll check it out, see how we like it, see how well it pairs here. Hopefully it holds up to the same standards we've experienced with our 3/8 and quarter stuff. But yeah, pretty happy with this. Again, the price points on this stuff is good. With the sale, it's really good. It's almost unbeatable for the, like, we're getting some of this stuff for like big box store prices, right? Like you walk in and you get EverQuest or Carlisle or Husky, you know, like, and we're getting Koken. Again, patience is the virtue, and you save money. I gotta pay attention, but you can save yourself some cash and get really nice tools. Just, you know, you gotta. A lot of people like to jump out and buy all these sockets I brought in over the course of like 20 videos in one whack. That's cool. I applaud you. It's tempting, but I'm just too thrifty, man, and therefore good things happen over time with me. I have money left over to do more cool stuff, you know, so it is what it is. But yeah, trust me, if you stick around to the end, not this video, but like perpetually, we're gonna have a really nice setup, and it's gonna be super organized and color coordinated and over the top, and it'll basically do the same thing the sockets did from my Craftsman set when I was 14. But hey, it is what it is, right? So with that said, this is a Labor Day sale, finally getting to record it. I'll finally put these in use again. Wasn't pressing, we've got other sockets we can take their place with, but super cool to have semi-deeps. This stuff I've never had semi-deep. It's like, ooh, you know, fancy, hit the big time, right? So I really enjoy it. I hope you do too. Obviously, I think a lot of you do, or you wouldn't stick with me through all this. But if you got anything to add, anything to share, any ideas on organization, if you want to see green 8-inch magnetic rails and socket trays too, by golly, leave a comment and tell Ernst. But website, LoneStarMopars.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find us at Lone Star Mopars. That's it. If you have not subscribed, I encourage you to do so. New tool stuff typically every Saturday, automotive content or tool stuff Wednesdays, 9 a.m. Texas time. That's when the videos pop out. Do things the old school way, my way. Don't do the 5 p.m. analytical crud, all that stuff. I just put the videos out. If you want to watch them, you know where to find them. And try to keep it simple. So once again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have yourself a fantastic weekend. More importantly, I hope I catch you back here for more action from the shop.